morning, Ramon. How about those Aztecs?
Well, I wasn't wrong. I think
Right.
you saw them. They look pretty good. They're behind schedule defensively, but they've never had offense like this. So we'll see. Though tonight you're playing the Arizona
Right.
Wildcats. We'll talk about the Maui class, the best tournament right now, college basketball. We'll have a preview, including Mindy's Creighton Blue Jays and the incredible Arkansas Razorbacks right now. They are unbelievable. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Morning Steam. I'm Ramon Scott, joined by the Midwest's premier sports handicapper, executive producer of this show, Mindy Hahn. And I'm trying to watch the World Cup. There's a bunch of games breaking because of all the early starts in college basketball. My mind is racing a million miles an hour because of all this excitement, Mindy. But we got previews today, kind of a light card in the professional ranks, right? I mean, we just have 4 NBA, a couple of hockey games to look at. So we hope you guys will join us, and we're going to get rolling on the last week of the regular season for college. I mean, yeah, there's a couple, but the big last weekend of games, some of the rivalry games, but cover this week's action, including the Maction and the Egg Bowl. And also Black Friday's big college football card will highlight the best matchups there on the show. So stick with us for the next 75 to 90 minutes, I'm thinking, with this schedule. And we'll look at more than just Mindy's Blue Jays, and those we'll look at a handful of games in college basketball, some of the best matchups from the tournaments around the area here around they're all spread all over the place. So
right.
Anyway, just welcome in to those joining us in the chat so far, but we want to hear more from you. But we got Curtis here today, ready to get some Team Steam money. I could use some help again. My stack's been up and down. And also Blake is here with us as we get ready to preview some of the action, but we're going to go over and see what's going on over at Tony'sPicks.com, where we have our premium picks each and every day, Mindy, just our best picks over there at Tony's Picks. You're here watching this show because we're going to give you a bunch of free complimentary picks.
That's right.
It's just a few moments from all the games. That's our requirement. That's our job. That's what they told us to have to do. But if you want absolutely our best picks, the ones that we're not going to share with you here because they're hopefully too good, Mindy.
Super secret.
Kind of like your hockey picks right now over there. But you've got some action here going. You've got a 5-pack and some of the college basketball going on today. What do you got going on at the site?
Yeah, so I have quite a few NCAA college basketball games here ready to go, locked and loaded, but started the day off with a 5-pack. So you could definitely go ahead and get that. We'll be in action in both games in the NHL, but went ahead and put up a best bet.
4-0 yesterday. I put it right up there.
Yep, 4-0 right there yesterday. So getting it done in hockey. Plus, it's over 1,000 units, 18-6, I think, over the week. So real happy with that for sure. But yeah, otherwise, everything's a little bit close for me in NBA here today. So won't be having any plays there, but hoping to have some with Team Steam. So we'll see how it goes here today.
I'm sure we'll come up with something, Mindy. I mean,
I thought they were all too close.
Yeah, well, we had winners. We had losers yesterday. Let's cut to the chase. Look at Mindy and Tony right there on top of the all cappers algorithm right now. Mindy on that hockey card yesterday. I don't know. Maybe you can fill me in on what went on for you because it was a pretty big card. Team Steam wasn't too swift, but you had some nice winners.
Yeah, so I had Blues on the money line, so they came in right at the end for me there. Let's see, what else did I have? I had the Jets on the money line, plus 115. So on both of those, got good plus value dollars there. Still stuck with the Bruins at minus 105 and got a win with the Devils at minus 150.
Yeah, I was just fooling around on Edmonton. I wasn't really going against you there, but
Right.
Devils win over Edmonton yesterday. I had a premium winner with Calgary and Philadelphia over, but other than that, my NHL wasn't too great. But I was going to show a 3-pack of winners up for the morning. The one sport where I'm kind of clicking right now, college basketball.
Right.
So join me right now. I've got a 3-pack for $30 up at Tony'sPicks.com. Mindy and I say use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 20% off all premium pick packages, or you can just buy them a la carte. They're $25 each, but here you can get 3 plays for $30 right here. And these are profit guaranteed. What is profit guaranteed, you might ask? Well, we guarantee that everyone will leave Tony's Picks with a winning experience. Should just take us one time, but if it takes more,
Right.
you're always going
It
to
happens.
end up cashing with Tony's Picks. You'll get credits back to your Tony's Picks account. So if I go haywire, you could just switch over to Mindy, pick up some hockey winners instead, and get back in the win column, get right back with us. Really, if it takes you 2 tries, it's kind of a wash. So we'd love to have you try us again. But we can have some winners too. Mindy rolled that sweep yesterday with her hockey. So that's the kind of results we're looking for, and that's what we get over at Tony'sPicks.com with our handicappers. Take a look at the leaderboard, see who's hot. Brandon came in 10-5 yesterday. Ben with a 5-2. Tony 2-0. GM 3-1. Good day for everyone there. So don't forget, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. That saves you 20% off all premium pick packages, short term, long term. It doesn't matter. You use that promo code, especially if you're subscribing to the Team Steam Picks over there, where you can get our plays that we're about to go over right now for free right here on the show. But if you do miss them and you want to make sure you don't miss any of our plays, you can subscribe to them over at Tony'sPicks.com. And don't forget to use that promo code, because we don't want you paying nearly full price for something that we're going to give away for free here in just a minute.
Right.
All right, we're getting ready for the free picks.
Here we go.
Rapid fire. And we're going to start with the NBA today. The lines, if anybody's following, they kind of were late to come out a little bit because, I don't know, maybe the bookmakers needed some sleep, or there's probably more likely a significant player missing in every single game today. So there were some late breaking information, or just some confirmation, I think, of some of the injuries today. So I'll call up, make sure we have kind of the latest line. There may be some changes, as these lines are not too old, because I had to wait as I was producing the show or watching soccer. Mindy, if I may, before we start, actually, if I can, I just wanted to mention everybody in the World Cup. I don't know.
That's right. You were going to tell us about the upset, right?
Well, it's been pretty chalky so far, really, in the World Cup. I mean, you had England winning big, Netherlands beat Senegal, the U.S. tied Wales. Maybe the U.S. was a slight favorite, but that was a closely rated game. And of course, then just moments ago, or within the last 2 hours, it was Saudi Arabia with a huge upset over Argentina, 2-1. Argentina, arguably one of the top favorites to win the World Cup, have their work cut out for them now, as they'll have to come back from a loss in one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history. I know a lot of people are on Twitter calling it the biggest upset, and maybe for some of the modern day fans, certainly it might be, but there have been some pretty big upsets in the history of the World Cup, including one time the United States defeating England in 1950 was one of the most famous upsets. But
can you give us odds on that? Do you know what they were?
Well, that's just it. I mean, these ones, there are some that are hard to quantify. And a goal. There's just been a goal. I don't know, in this Tunisia, then it's offside. So
no goal.
Mindy, if a goal happens, let me tell you this. If a goal happens during our show, I may break out into one of those famous international goal calls that I can do my own. I have my own patented goal call. So watch out. if there's a goal, I might do that live here on the show. So, back then, the odds a little bit harder to come by because the big gambling wasn't. Yes, there was gambling, believe me, but some of the older upsets, such as 1966 North Korea over Italy, you could only imagine some of these games. But uh, more recently, South Korea over Italy in 2002, Senegal over France in 2002, and of course, Argentina lost to Cameroon in 1990 was another big upset that Argentina suffered. So there have been some pretty big upsets, but this one was pretty big considering Saudi Arabia, which actually is part next to Qatar. It's one of the bordering countries, so it is kind of interesting there. And right now, Denmark and Tunisia in the second half, no score. Still to come today, Mexico and Poland. Mexico a slight favorite there. A tie could happen. Almost even odds all the way, but Mexico just the slightest of favorites. And the last game of the day, France versus Australia. France is minus 400 or so. Australia 10-1, draws about 5-1. Okay, just wanted to update.
So were you in on this game, Ramon? Denmark?
No, I didn't. Well,
not
not on the premium side right now, but I tell you, there's some close calls. I tell you that Argentina. I'm not saying there was any. We talked about that first game or whatever, and Saudi Arabia's got a lot of money, but Argentina missed a lot of opportunities in that game. They were whistled for 7 offside calls in the first half, and 2 goals actually were taken off the board after the video referee, waved them off legitimately. I mean, that's one thing that people are talking about is the massive amounts of added time in the game. There was a serious injury at the end of the game when a goalie collided with his own player on the Saudi Arabia team, knocking his teammate unconscious. He laid on the turf for several minutes before they came and took him off. And we're seeing 8, 10, 12 minutes of added time in the first half and second half of some of these matches. A lot of people think that that's going to affect the totals, possibly giving more time to score, but it's still supposed to be close to 90 minutes of play. So that's negligible, I think. And I think more so that the technology in the refereeing is going to limit goals more because it's so tight. I mean, we saw one game already where a goal was taken off because the guy's leg was offside. So something that probably would have totally been missed, of course, with the human element going on. So I think to look for some of the unders, especially as the matches get tighter in closely rated matches between quality teams. We see the blowouts. I mean, that was, just part of, when you got a team like England, they were just terrific. So, okay, let's get back to, I just want to talk about soccer a little bit as I watch, and I'm going to go crazy if there's a goal, depending on the excitement level, if you want to see that. I may just interrupt you too. Watch out.
I'm sure you will.
In the middle of
middle of the breakdown.
Hamid, welcome to you again. Welcome, Hamid, today. All right, Mindy, let's just get started here with the games with Brooklyn and Philadelphia. Looks like Joel Embiid is out for this one, and of course Harden's still out. So that was, I think, the major injury factor with Embiid. But this one was kind of the first one up on the board, actually, and I'm showing the Nets currently favored by 8, total 217.5.
Yeah, I mean, I was able to get most of the spreads last evening before I went to bed, but then there was no, totals out there. So got most of those this morning, and those totals have already been on the move. I'm going to go ahead and try the over here, Ramon. Brooklyn 76ers, overs 5-1 the last 5 games, 7-1 the last 8 Tuesday games, versus a team with a losing record here. I know the Nets have been an under team, but in their last 3, they've scored 127, 109, 121. The 76ers have been making it to 100. So I feel like they can just tip the scales here. I have this one going over by about 4 points. So we'll see how this goes, Ramon.
Okay. Yeah, in fact, Minnie, this was one of the games that was on the move lower. This one's definitely taken some official steam, if you will, widely reported steam, I'll call it, from one of the major line services. I'm not here to promote, any service or anything like that, but one of the major line services had the line moving towards the under, so I don't know if it'll go that way, one way or the other. But Brooklyn is 3-6 so far to the under this season, while on the road, while Philadelphia is 3-7 to the under at home. Brooklyn's taking care of business here against the spread 4 out of the last 5 meetings, but for me, in this look, it's funny, right? Because we actually have. Ben Simmons actually playing decent, okay, right? I mean, let's give him a little bit. Let's give him the slightest little bit of props for his last couple of games since he's been back. Maybe he'll find himself. He'll find within to perform. But for me, I just think in this, the Nets a big favorite. The Sixers missing their star. That's when I want to go against the Nets. So, right when they might feel complacent, when I might feel like, oh, we got this one. That's when I want the underdog with the reserves playing in the game. That's when I want to take them against Brooklyn. Not generally necessarily,
Right.
but a team like the Nets, where they seem to be funky, right? I mean, they do it when you don't expect them to do it, and they fail when you think they're just on the rise. So I'm going to take Philadelphia.
I don't mind that.
In this one. And Mindy says go over, getting the best price because of the steam that came in on the under. And there's a couple of plays to start us off. All right, next up, Mindy, those wild and woolly Sacramento, they might, oh boy, are these, I always tease you about the power rankings of football, putting you on the spot. You got to put the Sacramento Kings right up there with the top contenders in the Western Conference. They're up there with Denver. They're up there with Phoenix. Forget about the Clippers. Who are they? The Lakers are sorry. They're never going to come back from this deficit. Even though you've been riding their winning streak, but the Sacramento Kings, these guys can play some ball.
Yeah, I mean, they can. And that's the whole thing is that, notoriously, this has been an under series. It's 9-3 in the last 12 in Memphis, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and take the over today. Sacramento's averaging 135 points a game. Grizzlies about 115. Over is 5-0 in the last, 5 here for the Kings. Over 6-2 in the Grizzlies' last 8, allowing 125 in the previous game. So, yeah, I'll be taking the over here, Ramon.
All right, Mindy says take the over in Sacramento and Memphis. We know no Ja Morant in the game, of course, in this one. That's another reason why this game was really not lined completely. Blake says, I think he says Grizzly. It might be saying Grizzlies and over, or maybe just over in the Grizzlies game. Not sure there, but Curtis Mann says Kings and over. Boy, the move has been on the Kings. I don't know if I trust it. I kind of leaning towards Memphis, so I don't know if I want to go against you guys necessarily, and I'm not thrilled about that high number on the total without Ja Morant in there. So I'm torn at this one, but I'm going to end up on the Memphis side. I know I just talked a crazy time about those awesome Sacramento Kings, and they are awesome. And I love Ja Morant, but I don't know. I'm kind of labeling him not selfish. I mean, he's a great player. You want him in there at all times, but I think the Grizzlies are playing a pretty good, they're 10-7. That's not nothing crazy. And Morant's already certainly missed time so far. Sacramento 5-1 against the spread on the road. Memphis just 1-4 against the spread as a dog. And 9 of the last 12 in this series at Memphis have gone under. But Memphis.
Hey,
Memphis and Mindy combined. Okay. Blake says Grizzlies money line and over. Yeah, no, I think that's what
team total.
That's what I
entire total.
No big deal. I think that's what so Mindy says go over the 232 for a high scoring game. I'd say take Memphis now plus 2.5. They opened -1. I think we all knew that Morant was probably unlikely to play in this one. So the move's been on Sacramento, no doubt about it. I'm going to fade that move. All right, another major injury. It's still, an injury that has lingered with Nikola Jokic being out with the health and safety protocols, as we like to call it, so we don't say the C word. And this one, you got the Nuggets here. They're still favored, though, by 5.5, total 224. Uh, get well soon, Jokic. I
Yeah.
know.
And then I think Cunningham's out too,
Yes.
right? We just
No,
a ton of
he's been out for a while, yeah.
injuries here overall between these two teams here. It's one of those, the over is 3-1-1 the last 5 in Denver, but the Nuggets haven't averaged 100 points in its last 3 games. I don't think the Pistons will put up the numbers here either. It's strange that if I look at them and how they play, they always play to their competition. It doesn't matter who it is. If they're going to play someone that's scoring 127, they'll score 125. They're playing against someone scoring 100, they'll score 98. There isn't really a whole lot of variance with how these folks play. Pistons are 30th in the league in field goal percentage, 26th in the league in 3-point percentage. They just play down to their opponent. I don't see the Nuggets doing much. I'm going to go under the total here.
Okay, well, you're definitely getting the best of this one, Mindy. This total opened as low as 220 and now is up all the way to 224. So a big move there. Just some minor reported steam, but it's been successful steam nonetheless. Show my records, but I don't know. Yeah, from what I can see, I don't know if I want to go against it. That's good value, no doubt about it. In that one. I'm kind of torn at this one. I mean, you got Detroit 3-5-2 against the spread on the road. Meanwhile, Denver is 3-2 against the spread at home. They've been without Jokic now for a little while. Denver also 1-4 to the under at home. So that definitely is something that you can look to as well. So, boy, I'm really torn on this one, but I think for me it's going to be Denver. I'm going to lay 6.5, even without Jokic. Detroit does seem to be a little bit broken right now. Maybe there was some hope, and maybe they need Cunningham certainly to be at their best. We know he's been out for a few, certainly. So I'll take Denver in this one. Lay 6.5 against Detroit. 5.5. Okay, even better. That solidifies it for me. Okay, 5.5. All right. All right, Mindy, the red hot Lakers, and you've been
They
on them, I
are.
think, the whole time. I think you've been on them all through this 3-game winning streak. The Lakers have turned it around. They're obviously headed for the playoffs now. They'll probably win, 40 of their next 50. They've obviously found something.
Right.
No, they have not. But I don't know. We don't expect them to. They weren't going to go 10-72. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Lakers, suddenly have been putting up some points. Not sure what's going on, like you said. How have they found their rhythm here? But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the under in this one. Between these, head to head, it's been an underplay, over the years here, under 7-2 in the last 9, and the unders 4-1-1 in the last 6 in Phoenix. Even though the Lakers are playing well, I'm gonna go under here by the slimmest of margins, Ramon, 227.5.
All right, Mindy says go under 227.5. That's where it's gone too. It opened as high as 229.5. So the move definitely came in on the under there. And you mentioned it. I mean, the series, the total under. Lakers also 2-3 to the under on the road. Phoenix 4-8-1 to the under as a favorite. Maybe the Lakers are getting it together. They're 0-5 against the spread, of course, on the road so far. Today's the day. Give them to me. I've got the Lakers plus 7.5 at Phoenix. Chris Paul, obviously questionable. LeBron, still questionable for this one. We don't even know. I'll take 7.5 now as a free play right here on the show. And that'll be our NBA. Yeah.
Right.
A lot of
they were tough for me. They were all tough for me.
Yeah, well, with those key injuries, people might tend to stay away. There's always going to be a side. There's always going to be a total somewhere in there. But, for casual fans, they might not be as thrilled because of, a lot of people, when they see the marquee or one of the 2 marquee players out, a lot of times it just ends up being a pass. But
Well, it worries me when I go ahead and I put my work together and it's all underdogs. I'm like, oh man, oh man.
I'm on all underdogs. I'm feel good.
So hey, well maybe that's a good sign. But I feel like when I get too overloaded with underdogs, I start to worry a little bit. But hopefully it's an underdog kind of day.
All right, we're going to talk next about college basketball for today, and it's an exciting card. It's a late breaking card here because there's a lot of early starts, a lot of tournament brackets. So bookmakers have gone to bed. They said they'll come back in the morning and get those numbers up. Well, we've seen the numbers, I think, for every game finally go up, and man, they were moving quick this morning. I tried to get some premiums in there and don't want to be getting the worst of the line, certainly, but just the way the moves were coming in. There was definitely some professional betting going on in a lot of these games this morning. I guarantee you on that with the steam that I was watching. So anyways, we're going to start this one off as we go to the tournament in Kansas City, of course, Mindy, with Northern Iowa and Grand Canyon. We'll preview two of these games from that tournament. In this
Did I have you freeze up, Ramon, a little bit? I hope not. Maybe. But yeah, Daryl, we'll get to I think Ramon's might be back. But yeah, we'll get to hockey after our college basketball here rundown also.
Yeah, so I don't know. You can go ahead. Anyways, the Grand Canyon favored by 3, total 126. Yeah, the steam's coming on GCU.
Yeah, I mean, because Grand Canyon, they're playing really good defense right now, allowing 53 points a game. Northern Iowa, on the other hand, allowing 70. Grand Canyon's 4-0 against the spread. Yeah, I like Grand Canyon here. 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 Tuesday games here as well. I'll take them.
Right, Mindy's on GCU in this one, laying those 3 points. Like I said, the action came in on GCU. Yeah, they're playing well. Offensively, not so much, right? But 1-3 against the spread right now for GCU, despite that 3-2 record. These two teams, Mindy, have combined to go 0-6 to the under so far. But GCU is 2-0 straight up as a favorite. This is a pretty marginal line. Yeah, they're laying a little bit, but Northern Iowa's 0-2 straight up as a dog. So we do got to cover. We do got to cover it. And I like that steam that came in. We're going to be on GCU as a consensus play here. Go Lopes in this one. We're going to take Grand Canyon to win this one against Northern Iowa. Lay 3 points. The Havoc Nation, if you will. The Havocs, they call them. Those crazy fans that they have. But this is like in Kansas City. But there will be fans from GCU. They travel well because, they're kind of a computer school too. They're all over the country. And, of course, Northern Iowa, not too far, right? I don't know how far.
No, it's only like 4 hours away. It's not too bad.
And, hey, Daryl Turner's here with some great comments. Nice to have you, Daryl. He says Northern Iowa doesn't play any defense. Well, let's hope they don't today. But like I said, both teams combined to go 0-6 on to the under so far. But I think that's pretty much reflected in that line of 126. It was 126.5, so it's already gone down.
Exactly.
All right, consensus play right there. Grand
consensus play.
Couldn't do anything in the NBA. Man, I don't like that NBA schedule today. All right, San Francisco here against Wichita. USF on the road. Wow, USF, they're hot. Wichita's pretty decent too. Right now, USF is favored in this one, and they're favored by 1.5. Total down to 134.5.
Yeah, I like San Francisco. They play well on both ends of the floor. They also have a pretty, deep bench. I like that too. Bench players that can come off and get some scoring done. Give their starters some rest. I'll take San Francisco to beat Wichita State here today.
Well, Mindy, I should have in the opening segment where we go over to Tony'sPicks.com and we look at some of the, I should have pointed out our college basketball record actually, because I think that is like pretty decent. So
it is good.
I just, I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but I like USF here
All right.
in this game. Daryl does too. We saw him. He loves the Dons here. They're 5-0, just 1-3 against the spread so far. So caution there with the Dons, but the Shockers, they're 3-1 straight up. And ATS, I will mention these two teams have combined to go 1-7 to the under thus far. So I think actually, do I have that total right? 134.5. Yeah, 134.5. So, but I like USF in this one, Mindy. Also, we're 2 for 2. The steam came in on USF. I like the steam that came in, and Daryl said he played the Dons yesterday and the 49ers. So yeah,
Cha-ching.
and
Cha-ching.
he doesn't mean the Charlotte 49ers either. We didn't
Right.
even talk about the football game yesterday. It wasn't that great a game, I guess.
No, it was kind of boring for all the action that occurred, I thought,
Well, I jumped on Arizona late. I got suckered
with all
in.
those, extra points. I don't blame you.
Yep. I waited. I wasn't going to do anything when it went to 10. I said, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I've got Colt McCoy in my back pocket. That was a good idea. All right. Well, Mindy, those hard luck Louisville Cardinals, they're not this bad. Come on. I mean, come on. 4 1-point losses. They just played the greatest team in the country maybe this season. I don't know who you have on top. There's, half a dozen teams you could put up there, but they're getting 11.5 points here with Texas Tech favored against Louisville in the total 130. It's 12.5 now. It opened 10. They're taking Texas Tech like they're playing a bottom rung team here, and I get it. I mean, Louisville's 0-4.
Take Louisville to the bank. I know they're 0-4, but they've lost 3 of those by 1 point. I mean, Texas Tech scoring 70, Louisville putting up 63. I think they'll be able to keep it close here. Let's do Louisville plus 12.5.
You bet we're doing Louisville. If we pick every game here, consensus play. We've been hot in college basketball. They're getting 12.5 points. This one's at the Maui Classic, I should mention, of course. The teams are combined. Texas Tech, look, they're 3-1, but they're not doing anything against the spread either.
Not really.
These teams are combined 1-7 against the spread. Now you're going to ask them to lay 12.5. I thought Louisville looked just fine yesterday against Arkansas. They probably were outmatched in the end, and that's why. But they kept fighting back. They came back to within a little bit of margin a couple of times too. I think Arkansas is off the charts, And for poor Louisville, they weren't covering those games just because they lost by 1. Technically they underachieved, but I think we were still expecting maybe a little bit. I don't want to say more from Louisville. Maybe they're just not as good, but they're still competitive in those games. They've played a decent schedule. So I have no problem with Louisville at this point. These teams also are combined 1-6 to the under so far. How about that, Mindy? In the first 3 games,
Right.
the matchups that we've previewed are a combined 2-19 to the under. I'm not saying go under in every game, but I'm just saying the ones that we've previewed so far, almost
Marquee matchups.
Yeah. Both opponents have gone under in almost every game so far, except 2 of them out of 19 results. So, all right, Blake says Louisville can get the money too. So another consensus where we've got a team member on it. I think all 3 games. I don't know. Did anybody agree with us on that other? It doesn't matter.
Yes, we're okay.
Okay. Well,
we got the Dons, right? We had Grand Canyon. Yep, we're good. We're good.
Well, I just like when someone from the chat also agrees with us. And let's look at this one now with Bradley and Auburn. This one's a little bit bigger of a spread, certainly. So maybe we'll have something else here. But Auburn minus 13, total 138.5.
Yeah, Bradley's been shooting the ball well, 48% from the field. Auburn 41%. Bradley, I think they're going to be able to shoot well enough to hang in there in this one. I'm going to take Bradley at the plus 12.5 or plus 13 now.
All right, Mindy says take Bradley in this one, plus 13. They've won 2 straight. They beat Southeast Missouri. They beat Eastern Michigan as well.
tall task. I know it sounds like,
Oh,
right?
I know, but they're still 3-1. Auburn's 4-0. Maybe Auburn's opponents have been a little bit more noteworthy, right? I think they beat Winthrop, USF, Mason, and Tarleton. I think they beat Tarleton. Yeah, I'm gonna, Blake. We're gonna have my patented goal call here, but right now there's 10 minutes left in the game. No goal yet. So maybe we'll go the whole tournament, and I'll do it whenever it happens.
I'm
All right,
gonna be
Mindy. So
scared.
in this one with I'm kind of torn on this one actually with the Bradley and Auburn. The widely reported steam did come in on the under. That's the way I was kind of leaning at first, but I don't know. It just seems, boy, I don't want to take a pass here on this one. But man, my numbers seem to rate so close here. Is it really still 138.5? I was hoping somebody in the chat had a suggestion for me. I'm not sure I like Bradley. That's all, Mindy. In this one, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with Auburn. I can't decide on the total, and that's so. Maybe you're kind of. I don't want to give away my little secrets how I operate with Mindy here. I always wait and see what she says. I like Auburn in this game. Mindy likes Bradley. And I don't like to disagree with her on the show. That's why I always go to the total if I have the total. But I don't know what I'm doing with the total. So we're in disagreement there on this one.
Challenge
That's how it
Mindy
works.
versus Ramon.
That's
Mindy
how it works,
versus
Mindy.
Gerald.
That's how it works when we're doing our show, giving away our secrets of how we and where what we need is the watchdog here to make fun of us. Okay, and Daryl says, okay, so he's with me. Okay, well, not that we meant it like that, but. All right, we still got more. Let's get to the game that I know that Mindy wants to talk about, and I want to talk about too, because this is a great matchup. San Diego State, that was kind of late. We won't have a preview of that, but I mean, they play in Arizona, and maybe, Mindy, if both San Diego State and Creighton lose, I think they end up playing here, or if they both win, they'll end up playing. We have us another Ramon and Mindy matchup, but
Right.
look, I love the Blue Jays. They are definitely doing it differently than Arkansas, but I've got Arkansas right now. I mean, if it was Houston and Arkansas at the end, I wouldn't be surprised. I know they're young.
Yeah, well, Creighton's putting up some points. That's kind of how I look at it. That's been their like Achilles heel in the past, not having good, guard play. But yeah, Arkansas also putting up 75. Creighton shooting 2% better in the field goal range. I like Creighton in this one. Creighton 6-1 against the spread in their last 7. I think they can do it. I'm going to take those Blue Jays today plus the 1.5.
All right. Mindy's on Creighton. Harold Turner's on Creighton too. I don't think he's being flirtatious. I think he's just in Creighton. But,
I think he's accentuating or.
Yep. And or it could be so I don't know, Mindy. I love this Arkansas team. I love what Creighton's done. Creighton is 3-2 against the number with their 5-0 record. Arkansas 0-4 to the under, I will say so far. So they can stop people too. And I don't know. Like I said, they're probably too young. Musselman, I don't put anything past this guy. And I think this is the place. This is the group that he's worked to put together. I know that there's 6 freshmen.
Right.
Obviously the one kid, the star. I mean, he's so affable. He's so likable. I don't know how he can see through his hair. You're never in this day and age going to make somebody cut their hair. You can't do that. But man, you'd think that somewhere along the line he'll miss the pass or something with those beautiful locks that he has. But he's a spectacular player to watch, and Arkansas is really, really good. I'm going to go over, Mindy. I don't want to disagree with you.
All right.
I'm not. Yeah, this would be awesome, man. I mean, it's 142. Come on, this is going to be a great game, high score. I would think in this one. With these two teams, I'm not worried about Arkansas 0-4 to the under. So Gerardo's watching the game as well. I'm watching it. Gonna have a scoreless draw probably in this one. No goal call.
Not yet.
All right, Mindy, we're stuck on our 3-pack at this point, which is still pretty good, I think. But let's look at one more game. with Liberty, and Northwestern. And Northwestern going to be favored here. I don't know if the line's changed at all. Northwestern 3.5, 130.5.
Yeah, I mean, Northwestern's been playing some tough defense, only giving up 53 points a game here, putting up 70 on the offensive side. On the other hand, Liberty, they give up just an absolute, ton of points and, only putting up 70 over the last 3 here. Northwestern 5-2 against the spread in the last 7. I'm going to take Northwestern here, -3.5.
All right. Well, you're getting the good number, certainly, right there. Northwestern undefeated, of course, as you said, with that 4-0 record. Liberty just 2-2 straight up. The move has come in on Liberty. I was already liking Liberty. Liberty 3-0 to the over, Northwestern 0-4 to the under. Which way will it go? Which way is the total moved? The total moves down from 131 to 130. I'm going to take Liberty. We're going to disagree on 2 games, Mindy. Oh, boy. At least we're on those 3 games. On college basketball, we'll have a 3-pack for you if you miss our picks and you want to pick them up, or make sure you get our picks from the show over at tonyspicks.com. And over there, we've got GC -3, USF. What was USF at a pick 'em?
-1.5.
They were -1.5, Mindy. Thank you. That's a pretty big move, actually. Wichita was open to 1-point favorite. So we got USF -1.5, and we also have Louisville +12.5, a 3-pack of winners from the morning team. And those are all verified by our part of our crew as well. And Blake says he's got Liberty with me. I think he's saying that, or he's just having some fun.
He's doing the commercial. Yep. Liberty Mutual. Liberty.
I like the all right. Oh, Liberty. Okay, I see it now.
He's doing the commercial where the guy's standing there that can't say the commercial right.
I keep thinking Liberty's not the one with the emu, so
no, I don't think.
All right. Well, I'm a little behind because of all the matchups, but we're going to go next, I believe, to the NHL, where there's a couple of games, and I don't have even the goalies lined up in this one, but I've got the Sabres and the Canadiens in this one, Mindy, and I'm showing the Canadiens here a slight favorite, 115. Want to say that's 6 over 15. I want to say it is. Yep. 6 over -115.
Well, I like the Canadiens here in this one. Canadiens have that 5-5 home record. Buffalo 3-5 on the road. Favorite 10-4 in this one. And the Sabres are only 2-5 in Montreal. I'll take the Canadiens -115 on the money line.
All right, Mindy's on Montreal here, -115 against those Sabres. Buffalo obviously struggling right now with that ugly losing streak. That certainly makes Montreal pretty live in my book as well. I mean, Montreal, they've 2-0 was a money line favorite. How about that? Second time they've been favored. They've won them both so far, so why not? Montreal 7-3 to the over at home. I'm going to go with Mindy in this one. I got to take Montreal, Buffalo on that losing streak. Give us a consensus play on the ice tonight. Take Montreal at home against Buffalo. Buffalo keeps that losing streak going, at least in this one. All right. Oh, this one I have the goalie. Well, I mean, I hope I have that. That's the matchup we want to see, certainly, with the Rangers and the Kings playing, I would think. And in this one, I'm showing the Rangers here might be a slight favorite on the road at LA tonight, -115 or so, and the total 6 under 15.
Yeah, this is the one that Daryl's been waiting for, so we're finally getting to it. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the under. Under's 4-0 in the last 4, 6-0 for the Rangers following a win. Under 5-2 in the Kings' last 7 overall. Give me the under. 6 under 15.
All right. Well, the matchup certainly of good goalies, no doubt about it. And I'm going to go with my Kings in this one. Mindy, I can't help myself in this one. I do kind of agree with you on the under there, but I'm going to go with the Kings. Uh, they're playing well. This is going to be a hot matchup tonight, certainly with the Rangers coming into town. Don't really have much trend wise on this one, other than the fact that the Kings have been, certainly over. I don't know if it's overachieving. Maybe they are playing to their potential for once, but I like them tonight, especially at a reasonable price in this one. In fact, I show Rangers as a favorite there. It's actually closer to a pick 'em right now, so probably not. I'm not getting necessarily the best of it here, but I'll take the Kings tonight. Mindy's on the under. We got one consensus play.
There we go. One
It's
out of
the
two.
Montreal Canadiens tonight against Buffalo. So 4 plays, including a best bet, it looks like, on the ice from Team Steam for today's action. And like I said, a light card. So not a light card in college basketball, obviously, with a lot of those tournaments. I'm looking forward, Mindy, I'm looking forward to the Creighton, Arkansas game, but also San Diego State and Arizona. I think you saw what I was talking about with San Diego State last night, especially with Matt Bradley also back for San Diego State now. Kind of the heart and soul of the team, and all these new players as well. They got that kid from Seattle University who was such a hot scorer last year on a transfer, and so I think you're going to see San Diego State continue to rise and be that team, that other mid-major. Maybe they'll be a reflection of Creighton as well. We can root for some kind of excitement come March with those clubs. All right, Daryl says, get to the max, get over there, get to the maction, I think is what he's saying, right? Or is he talking about the
I don't know. Is it like
Nope,
no,
it's time.
I was like, is there a Bowling Green, Ohio playing college basketball? I don't know.
Well, there is. In fact, I think somehow it ended up with there is, I believe, 2 MAC teams playing somehow in college basketball.
So,
today.
Do you mean college football or college?
It does mean college football today. We're going to get to the MACtion right now and get with the. So we're going to look at the games from today, the game on Thanksgiving, the Egg Bowl. Also, select Friday games, some of the better matchups, I think, from Friday's Black Friday action. Let's get right into the college football with Daryl Turner special request right now as our first game to preview in the Tuesday night action with Ohio favorite. I'm showing Ohio now a 7-point favorite, total 55.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit crazy. I know Ohio is the favorite here, but geez, they're starting quarterbacks out. Yeah, with that knee injury, totally questionable. For the game.
Sure.
They're definitely going to be a different team without him. I don't think there's going to be any ifs, ands, or buts there. Bowling Green has a strong defense. Been on a little bit of a roll late. I think maybe have an outside shot at winning the title. Who knows? But Bowling Green, they won 6 of their last 8 conference games, 6-1-1 against the spread versus team winning record. Ohio doesn't have a quarterback right now. I'm going to take Bowling Green in this one, plus the touchdown.
Mindy, you're going to take Bowling Green?
First time all year, Ramon.
Look, I got made fun of by the chat, by you, I think by Tony, all the times I take Bowling. I think Bowling Green's going to a bowl for the first time in quite a while. I think I was right in my assessment of Bowling
Green. On the right
Green
side of history, yes.
Being exceeding expectations, I think, there for the season. So even though, they didn't win some of my high-profile picks of them, they certainly, they're going to a bowl. That's big for Bowling Green. So Ohio, obviously, they're going to have to get it done without Rourke here. They need to win, definitely. Bowling Green, only thing bothers me about that the win over Toledo got them the bowl game. So if you're a letdown person or anything like that, maybe there's that. Ohio's still going to have the massive motivation to win this game. They are 8-3 against the spread. I'm talking about the Bobcats, 4-1 against the spread at home. Bowling Green 5-0 to the over on the road. Ohio U 4-1 to the over at home. Well, that's not good because I was looking to go under without Rourke in there. I'm still going to go under. I think that number's too high at 55. I'm going to buck the 9-1 combined trend of Bowling Green Road and Ohio home, 9-1 to the over, and I'm going to go under 55 in this one, Mindy.
All right.
Because I don't expect Rourke. Right? I mean, it doesn't look good for his chances to play in this game. That soccer match winding down here. Looks like a scoreless draw is going to happen.
Oh.
They just went to a video, no penalty. They were thinking about lining something up at the spot on a handball, but it was incidental. All right, and we've got to flash up our little Daryl Turner preview here, and also he asked for this next game, right? And he also says leaning under. I don't know if he's asking if we do or if he does, but I certainly have gone under in that first game. Mindy, what do you have to say with Ball and Miami O?
Well, on the defensive side, Miami, Ohio gives up 23 points compared to Ball State, allowing 27. Miami, Ohio here, 15-7 against the spread the last 22 home games here. Miami, Ohio's rush defense is, I don't know, pretty awesome. I think Ball State here is just going to have trouble moving the ball. Miami, Ohio has the edge in this game, I think, offensively and defensively. So I'll take them. Let's go Miami, Ohio, -3.
I don't mind that pick. Ball 1-4 against the spread last 5 meetings in this series. That certainly favors Miami O, but they are 3-2 against the spread on the road. Miami of Ohio 1-3 against the spread as a favorite, although we're just laying 3 here. I don't know if Daryl was suggesting under in both games, but these two are combined to go 6-16 to the under so far, and he is giving us that information right now there about this game. So I agree with. I think I agree with Daryl. I'm going to go under in Ball and Miami in this one. Go under 44. All right, that's the Maction for Tuesday night. Tuesday night Maction. Thanks to Daryl Turner. He's obviously a Mac expert. I was trying to Maction expert, Maction aficionado. All right, Mindy, big news with the Egg Bowl. What's going to happen? The latest news is Deion Sanders not going to be coaching Auburn? Is this Lane Kiffin's last game before he heads to the graveyard of coaches at Auburn? Because all of a sudden, it seems like with Mississippi kind of falling on their face at the end of the season, Kiffin will just kiss it goodbye, win or lose, and head to Auburn and take the job there. Who would want to do that? You're just asking for it.
He's been just on the football carousel, coaching carousel, I guess. Ole Miss has lost 3 out of their last 4, only scoring 25 points a game during that time. Mississippi State, on the other hand, 2-2 in their last 4, putting up 30 points a game. Ole Miss defense currently ranks 95th in the country in quarterback rating for opposing quarterbacks. So they've been, being able to play some nice defense against the pass. Now they face the SEC's leading passer here in Will Rogers. So, I don't know. The road team here, 6-1 against the spread in their last 7. I think Mississippi State here has the edge in this one. I'll take them +2.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm going to take Mississippi State too. I think there's too much going on right now. I think with Ole Miss, I don't know if it's the storylines that I mentioned or whatever the case may be. They've obviously over the latter part of the season not clicking as well, if you will. Mississippi State's still 1-3 straight up on the road, while Ole Miss 5-1 straight up at home. That has to be of concern. I will mention 16 of the last 21 meetings in this series have gone under for years. This game was always a 40-point, something. The total was way lower than this. I mean, obviously we're dealing with a totally different era and totally different styles with this team. Last 2 years, Ole Miss won 31-21, 31-24 in the last 2 meetings, but I've got Mississippi State with Mindy. Let's go on the Bulldogs over the Rebels here. Take those 2 points. I think we can get 2.5, but we'll say 2. That's fine.
All right.
Whatever's in the back end, that's what we're taking it at. And
Right.
actually, I am showing the total did go down to 58.5. I just didn't update it. So, anyways, we're on Mississippi State as a consensus play.
Consensus play.
Baylor and Texas now in this one. And this one, we're moving to Friday action here. And I'm showing Texas is favored by 8.5. Total's up to 56 this morning.
Yeah, it's one of those that I really like, Texas, but Texas is one where they play a good game and then they kind of fall flat on their face, the next. Texas, I think they're playing pretty decent. They're at home. I'm kind of surprised at the spread. I don't really like it either way. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the under, though, in this one. Under is 4-0 in the last 4 in Texas, 9-0 in the last 9 meetings between these two teams. I'm going to hit the under here in this one, Ramon.
Yeah, this series has been a total under. It's such an under that it makes me want to get on the under, but the indications to me are that the total has been set a little low for what could happen in this game. I like Texas in this one. I'm going to end up laying the points here. Look, I know Baylor, they're terrific. 4-1 ATS is a dog. So far. That's what I mean by terrific. And they've also covered 5 of the last 7 meetings against Texas. But right now, I just feel like Texas is above this situation, and I think they can get this win by double digits. I've got Texas in this big game against Baylor. Big meaning, Baylor and Texas, it's big. Still a big game. It's not like we're,
rivalry.
Okay, North Carolina State and North Carolina in this one, and I'm showing right now that North Carolina is favored by up to 6.5, and the total 56.
Yeah, North Carolina just giving up a ton of points per game, 30.4. Just lost to Georgia Tech, 17-21, where they couldn't even score in the second half. Oh, I don't know. The underdog in this one, Ramon, is 13-6 in their last 19 meetings. Road team 7-2 against the spread in the last 9 as well. I'm going to take North Carolina State here plus the 6.5.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, North Carolina State 0-4 against the spread on the road so far.
Sorry.
Am I on?
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay. Wolfpack 0-4 against the spread on the road so far. UNC against 5-0 last 5 meetings against these two. North Carolina State also having trouble getting numbers right now for me to get involved with them. I'm going to end up going over in this one, over the 56 with North Carolina and North Carolina State. Think we should be able to get over the 7 or 8 touchdowns that are going to be necessary here to get that number. I've got it going over in the game between North Carolina State and North Carolina. Mindy says take the Wolfpack plus 6.5. All right, Mindy. Well, this one looks like it's going to be a shootout. 37. Oh man, this one's going to be a wild one for these two teams. You could give me your assessment on what I think we talked about Nebraska actually. So as far as Iowa's concerned, what can you say? I mean, they continue to, doing a pretty nice job this season, and they're favored by double digits here.
Yeah, they keep finding, ways to win.
Sorry, dear.
Okay.
Wow. Go ahead.
I mean, Iowa, they keep finding ways, to win, and Nebraska doesn't. If I take a look at Nebraska's stats over the last, 3 games, they've averaged maybe 10 points scored. But Thompson was out at quarterback, so I don't know. Maybe that would make a little bit of difference. But Iowa 7-4 now. I wouldn't have thought that at the beginning of the season. But again, just finding ways, to win. Nebraska 3-8. Like I said, 9.75 points a game here. Iowa's 4-0 against the spread in their last 4. I hate to do it, but I'm going to have to take Iowa here in this one. Nebraska's just not playing well. I'm going to have to make cupcakes for like the 9th straight year in a row for all of my neighbors. It's going to be brutal.
Yeah, I mean, I was covering numbers a little bit as a favorite, 4-2, laying the chalk. Nebraska 1-3 against the number on the road. We know Iowa not only 7-4 straight up, but also against the spread. Uh, Look at this total. I was
No.
almost kidding, but 39. To me, it indicates that there will actually will be finally be some scoring in this one. I'm going over. I mean, I really could see this one getting into the mid 40s. Believe it or not, this time. Uh, I think Iowa could have that success that you mentioned. So I'm going over, believe it or not. And I will mention, if you look across the board at all these Big Ten games today, you'll find that all the totals are moving higher right now
Yeah.
on all of them. So I don't know if that's a coordinated move or, wise guys are sharps, but I think it's fact if you take a look at some of
Well,
that.
and it's one of those with Nebraska, if they were going into this having, a little bit of something to play for, I would think I would give them a little bit more of a chance, but they don't. And, Iowa is going to probably win the, Big 12 or Big 10 West here in this one. So,
Yeah, definitely motivated for that. They're definitely motivated. Okay, and next up, UCLA off that. That was a great game. I really enjoyed that game with USC. 90 points scored in that one. UCLA big favorite here on the road. They're minus 10 now, and the total I have wrong though. It's 61.
yeah, UCLA, they just continue to put up the points. 40 points a game. Cal, on the other hand, only 23. UCLA outgains Cal 140 yards of offense per game. I mean, I don't know. I don't give Cal too much of a chance here in this one. Bruins 11-1 against the spread versus a team with a winning record or a losing record here as well. I'll take UCLA. I don't think it matters that it's sitting at 10 right now.
Okay, I'm going to end up on the other side. I'm going to disagree. I think this is the spot where UCLA falls flat against their
Moan.
big brothers. Yeah, in this one, I don't know. I thought Cal. UCLA doesn't do well in this series. That's all there is to it. They're 1-5 against the spread. Last 6 against them. I will mention 11 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone under the total, but the Bruins are 3-0 to the over on the road so far. So I don't know. I kind of was torn on that one. So I'll take Cal plus
All
the
right.
10.
So I said, you probably know a lot more about this series than I do.
No, well, again,
Well, you
on the surface, I mean, you wouldn't think that Cal, even though the Stanford game was kind of interesting
will.
to say the least, but I just think it's a UCLA coming off the USC. Now you got to play Cal. It's not the rivalry that USC is, but it is still Cal and UCLA semi, right? So the big bears against the little bears. That one. And finally, from Friday, we're going to look at this one with Florida and Florida State. Um, Always one of my favorite games of the year. Anytime those teams, Florida, Florida State, Miami, when they meet up. In this one, Florida State right now, this is a 9.5-point spread, and the total 57.5.
I know. Isn't this always a great rivalry? I mean, when these two teams meet, you expect, intensity here. You expect defense. You expect hard hitting. That's how I see this one going. I think this one is heading to the under 7-3 in the last 10 in Florida State, 15-6 the last 21 meetings here between these two. I like the under 57.5.
All right, I don't mind that. So Mindy takes the under. I mean, 15 of the last 21 meetings between these two teams have gone under. FSU 4-2 to the over at home so far, and UF 3-1 to the over on the road. So I was kind of conflicted there on both those. I would say at this point, but for me, I think it's going to be Seminoles or bust. I think they can get a double-digit victory here. I like Florida State, UF 3-1 against the spread on the road, and 4-0 ATS as a dog, but I think the spread speaks volumes here. We know Florida State having decent year, 8-3 so far this year. I'm going to lay 9.5 points with FSU against Florida on Friday.
Sounds good.
All right, that's our morning steam show for today, and the
We
soccer
didn't
match
get
just
you.
went off. Huh?
No, yeah, we didn't get you with your,
So,
exciting,
we
goal
have
call.
we'll have to hope there'll be a goal. We're going to be on for there'll be pretty much an hour of action every day when we're on the air, and I'll give you that goal call, but I'm not going to do it just to show it to you,
Right.
or because that would take the spontaneity out. It's a good goal call. I might even wake up the neighbors because I do it really loud, like those guys on, like those TV announcers. So,
Awesome.
um,
The ESPN Deportes.
yes, so similar to that. I've watched a lot of Mexican soccer, things like that. So, anyways, head on over to our website, tonyspicks.com. There you'll find our premium picks and our team steam picks. Click on the all cappers tab to get signed up on this. What you do, click over there, find the morning steam, click on it, and then you'll see Mindy and I and our
There we are.
picks, including, like I said,
Look at us,
Mindy.
NCAA basketball.
Right, that's our best sport right now. And look, we're showing some profit in some pretty good sports, including the NFL and NBA so far. So right now, though, NCAA basketball, we're on a 12-3 run
Ooh,
over last week on the basketball court.
that's pretty
22
good.
and 9. So we didn't have any NBA plays. We should go back and do them over today. But we did have the
It's
three
all my fault. I didn't really
NCAA
like the card
basketball.
today. It's
I
all
don't
my
either. I don't even know if I'll have a premium, especially when I'm back to the drawing board a little bit, uh, going up and down like a roller coaster. So,
fault.
anyways, though, look at that though. Our morning's team 22 and 9 in our basketball picks, and we have 3 consensus plays today in college basketball. If you missed them, you can pick them up over at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. You can get 3 days of these picks if you're going to be out of town, whatever. You can't watch the videos, have time to watch the videos. You can pick them up right there for $99 for 3 days, $179 for a week. But they're absolutely free right here. All we want to do is have you watch the show. There's some type of weird marketing scheme here going on. Free picks. All you got to do is watch the show. Seems
Right.
like a pretty good deal. And we appreciate everyone from our team Steam also for commenting during the show and giving us their picks and opinions because we value those a lot. Daryl Turner says, early opinion, Florida and Boston tomorrow. I've already tried to beat Boston in the stream. Maybe I did it with the wrong team yesterday, but I'm looking for a spot to try to get Boston to end that streak, but they're just too hot right now, Daryl. But who knows what I'll be on tomorrow in that game. Please tune in. We're glad to have Daryl Turner with us. We had Blake here. Gerardo was here. He also said he liked a BTTS in the Mexico-Poland game. I don't usually doubt Gerardo, but
Right.
boy, after watching this scoreless draw, I feel like we could be heading to another low score game, but it could be 1-1 maybe. Want to also thank Blake for being here as always. Also, Jose Sierra was here watching that college basketball. I think we've seen Jose before, but it's good to see him again. Curtis Mann was here. Hamid was here. I think everybody knew it was kind of a light day. I think our hits were down a little bit. That's okay because we'll be here tomorrow, Mindy. We're going to take Thanksgiving off. We're going to catch up with families and all that, and then also on Friday. So we're gonna do some more Saturday games tomorrow. Probably look at Thanksgiving football. I don't know how deep we can run with our NFL, but I know we're gonna look at the Thanksgiving Day games. Maybe we'll have an extended. We might adjust. Sunday we might get all the games, all the NFL on Sunday, except for these Thanksgiving games, which are going to be fun games, no doubt. Tomorrow. So we'll be back tomorrow for one final show before we return on Saturday, I believe, with that. So want to thank Mindy for a great show, great picks, and bring us back up with there we go. And we thanked everybody. So good job, everybody. Yep, Blake says he wants to get that goal call in there. We will hear it. I think we'll hear it once. And
We'll get there eventually.
want to do that. I just want to do that. I'm never going to make it on Deportes, so I'm going to do it right here on the air with whoever scores. All right. Good job, Mindy Hahn. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For Mindy Hahn, I'm Ramon Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Bye-bye.